All right, I'd like to call to order this meeting of the Douglas Cable Advisory Committee. It is Monday, April 8th, 2019. There is currently one opening on the committee. If anybody's interested, you can email Pat at cable@douglasma.org or call 508-476-4000, extension 222. We can provide you with any information or questions you might have about our committee. I personally would love to see a young person or a woman or a young woman or any combination of that. Some new blood would be great. All right, financials. Tom, if you want to go over.
We don't have the March financials yet. So we caught up to February last meeting, and then we don't have the March yet.
So
this
the only thing we have is the cable voucher, which you signed for the our half of the key system for the building, and then mileage for one of our employees to go to record the Blackstone Valley Tech School Committee meeting in the beginning of March, which was a total expenditure for the month of $104.75. So, or for that voucher anyways.
Very good.
So we'll catch up to those, I guess, next month.
All right.
Do you have an idea about what day of the month those usually come out?
Usually we do have them by our meeting, so it's usually the first week they come out, but I'm not sure with budget stuff if they're kind of stacked up or...
Very good. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, so that covers the financials and the expenditures. Meeting minutes. From Monday, March 18th.
We have the 11th and then...
And the 18th. So
And the
I'll make
18th,
a move
because we did two.
to accept. I'll make a move to accept the meeting minutes from Monday, March 11th, 2019, as presented.
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's unanimous. All right, correspondence.
And then the one for Monday, March 18th, is just for when we approved the budget. So I will make a motion to approve the minutes of Monday, March 18th, 2009, as presented.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Passed unanimously. All right, correspondence. We have one letter from Charter to the town administrator. It's short, so I'll read this one. Enclosed, dear Mr. Wojcik, closed a check of the amount of $65,456.09. This payment represents the annual PEG access support payment pursuant to the license agreement between the town of Douglas and Charter Communications. If you have any questions, you can reach out to Charter. Tom, if you could tell the people at home exactly what that check represents.
That's the it's monthly. It's the on the Charter television bill, there's a franchise fee that is paid every month, and this is the amount of money collected for the year.
It's our...
Also becomes our budget for the fiscal 20.
So that's one of the line items you see in your cable bill.
I also noticed they sent it to 29 Dewey Street, wherever that is.
Dewey Street?
Yeah.
Oh, the check itself?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But it got here.
Make that here, yeah.
We found it.
All right, then another letter from Charter to Town of Douglas. Dear Issuing Authority, attached you will find the annual Form 500 outage report for 2018 as filed by Charter Communications with the Massachusetts Department of Telecommunications and Cable. The number of subscribers in your town or city appears at the top of the service interruption chart.
It's weird because remember they already sent, we just looked at this like 2 meetings ago, they sent one, so
Right.
this is our second annual notice.
And this one's interesting because it shows us having 2,330 subscribers in the town. And that's television subscribers. And the interesting thing is that there are probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 15 reported outages, which they took care of in less than a day. So if people have service interruptions, please call Charter and let them know so that they can
Right.
fix that. And they have an accurate count of the problems that you may encounter.
Looks like they had a tough January.
Yeah, that was January 18.
Yep.
All right, another letter with some programming changes. That'll be online. If anybody's interested, you can look up the programming changes online. And more programming changes.
Looks like they're doing a subscription yoga fitness channel.
Video on demand yoga fitness channel.
Yeah, cheaper, $6.99 a month, cheaper than Planet Fitness.
Interesting. Customers with Spectrum On Demand can subscribe to, I don't know how to pronounce that, GAIAM.
Gaiam, I believe.
Gaiam TV Fit and Yoga for $6.99 a month. Customers interested in subscribing should contact Spectrum. All right. So once again, any of that correspondence will be online if anybody's interested.
I
with the
see
programming
also,
changes.
also we have another new director of government affairs, John Maher.
I saw that too, yeah.
That's
Another
supposed to-
switch.
Another change.
All right, that brings us to the coordinator report. Pat?
So we have the March meetings coverage report. We had a bunch of cancellations. Couple different reasons on that. The one at the top was, it was actually, it was an interesting one because we had closed, the town hall was closed for the day because of the snow, but then it got nice out and it kind of cleared up. And that committee had emailed and said we're going to meet anyway, but I had always thought it was protocol that when the town hall is closed, all the meetings are automatically canceled. I guess that was never communicated with this committee, so I rebooked our recording assistant to do the recording, and then they talked to the people in the town hall and they figured out they couldn't do it, so it was kind of a back and forth all day type of thing, but our person showed up, just in case. And it was as if they could get in, because I didn't know what people's snow situations are. But so that was just a confusing one, but it helped us iron out between me and the town administrator what exactly should happen in that scenario.
So is that the fact that the town hall is closed and there is no meeting, so we can
It's
know in the
not
future?
like a bylaw or anything, but it is, I think that it is going to be understood going forward. So I think that they'll communicate that to committee members, so.
Yeah, it's sort of like a holiday. I mean, if the
Yeah, in
holiday,
general,
the
yeah.
town hall is closed, the town hall should be closed.
Yeah, there's no
If
meetings
there's
that day.
announcements that the town hall is closed, then it's a public meeting, and I would assume the public would thereby think that there wouldn't be no meeting.
Right, yeah, because it's reasonably assumed that there would be no meetings that night because the town hall was closed, so it's kind of tricky on that note.
Yeah.
but- And on that day particularly, it was just terrible that morning, and then it cleared right up in the afternoon. It was beautiful out the rest of the day, so I could get why you'd think, yeah, we could go in, so.
And they have public meetings in the public, like you said, the public would assume that it's closed, so there's no meeting,
Right.
so.
Right. Yeah, and when the clerk's not here, I don't know if she can update remotely if it's canceled anyway, so it falls into a kind of a tricky scenario, but.
Ah, yes.
And then the other one that we paid for was the Capitol meeting, but that was the day of the fire. So
Oh, okay.
some of the Capitol members went to that. So it wasn't officially canceled, but it's very understandable. They were responding to an emergency in town, so.
Very good. Thank you.
So a few updates. The March 14th, we recorded down at the Senior Center, and I couldn't find anyone, so I actually went down and recorded that myself, and it was great because they had a boxedy Irish folk music playing the whole time, live Irish folk music, which was great. That's uploaded to YouTube, and it's being broadcast. The 21st, ordered the Yamaha 12-inch powered loudspeaker for the back of the resource room as a temporary PA unit until the larger project is approved. So I got the speaker, the stand, and an RCA cable that I just run it from the headphones out port right now. Might be a better way to do it, but just for the quickness of it, that's how I hooked it up. It's in the back of the room there. Right now it amplifies from the general system just into the audience so they can hear what's being done at the table, and seems to be working all right. We haven't had a great test of it yet, but so that came in right underneath what we approved. The 21st, I also ordered the Aja Key Pro Key Store modules. Those are the recording drives for our main recording rooms. They're the 1 terabyte. So those have been received, and they've all been installed except for the high school unit. So I'll have to get over there at some point and put theirs in. This is an interesting one. The 22nd, I was discussing with the town engineer. He was asking if there was a way that we could have like live links in the YouTube videos. So things like the planning board videos or conservation where they're...
Welcome to the Douglas Planning Board.
How'd you click on the link? So when you have certain meetings where it's agenda driven and there might be long discussions about things, if you could just click the link and go to whatever you're looking for in that meeting. So we kind of arranged it with the minutes taker and did a couple back and forth, and we have a pretty good system now. And what she does is when she does the minutes for these, she adds a time code link. And then she just sends me the raw text. I copy and paste it into the YouTube file, and I have that example up for. Just gotta wake the mouse up.
That link doesn't work.
It didn't work?
No, I had to cut and paste it. Oh, I guess it worked for you though.
This is just one of the. We've only done a couple so far, but it's I think it'll be great going forward. So you can see in the discussion here, I can't really read the screen from here, but so if I want to click right here, go straight to that area on the video.
That's great.
Yeah, so coordinating with the minutes taker, and she can just send me the stuff, so it's, while she's sort of doing the work anyway, she just adds the time code in, and then now we can have trackable agendas in the YouTube, so it's pretty straightforward to set up.
Great.
Little labor intensive, so people need to understand that we'll do our best to get that.
Yeah, right. It's sort of an added bonus at this point. I'm sure at some point it'll become totally normal protocol, but we're still ironing it out a little bit, and she has to do it at her rate, so and we add them after the post. So I'll post the video, and then whenever that comes in, I'll update the file. So it's not automatically on everything I post. I do a couple of the cable meeting ones just to test out, stuff. So we have a couple of ours done too. The assessors meeting recordings, we had talked a couple meetings ago about why we were not recording the assessors meeting, and should we get the new town administrator's take on that. And I did speak to Matt, and he said that anything of theirs that is public session should absolutely be recorded. And he just kind of left it to us to discuss with the assessors. When I spoke with the assessors, they said that they do have meetings where the majority is executive session, but they do have meetings where it's mostly public. So I asked them if they could just let us know when they anticipate that we can have someone booked. It just depends on what time of year it is and what they've got going on. But so it's really up to the assessors meeting just to let us know when they have an agenda that is mostly public session so that we can have someone tape.
When they say mostly, I've never seen one of their meetings. Could they mean by most of it, like half an hour is public and then another hour is executive, or is
I'm
it
really
5
not
minutes
sure,
and then
yeah.
40 minutes?
I'm really not sure. So I guess we could take it kind of experimentally from here and see what happens with the next couple and see, because I'm not sure either how their meetings go in general.
I'd like to see them covered. I don't know. Not having seen it, I don't know. if it's 5 minutes public and, probably wouldn't be worth being there, but.
Right.
Do you have an idea, do they meet on a regular basis?
I believe they meet monthly. So, yeah, once a month. I'm pretty sure it's a regular, just like a monthly meeting.
Okay, I just don't see any minutes or meetings scheduled on the town website. Okay.
So I guess if that's acceptable, we'll just try that out and see how
Okay.
try that
Yep.
method
Keep
out.
track of that.
Yeah. We did miss the water sewer meeting of April 2nd. We did have someone booked. It was another one of these scenarios where they revised their agenda to be a 6 o'clock start and not a 7 o'clock start. But they didn't really notify the clerk of that specific change. So they updated the revised agenda, which said 6 p.m., but the actual post said 7 p.m. So we sent our person at 7 p.m. like normal. And so, but I believe that they audio record their own meetings, so they probably do have the audio. It just, with the new website, that it was, sometimes you have things like that happen. So I discussed it with the clerk, and I believe she is going to discuss it with them about how, it kind of needs to be communicated directly,
Right.
times and whatnot. Because I understand they can't read every agenda either, so.
Right, yeah, because, if there's a change, somebody should give you a heads up.
Yeah.
Yeah. You would hope.
And they may thought that they did give it.
So it wasn't posted properly. When it-
That's what it comes down to, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So the April 2nd Finance Committee meeting, I did sit with them and present the FY20 budget, which they seemed receptive to. But the one thing that they left me with is they asked how possible would it be for us to pursue, because they asked about other cable franchises coming into this area, and I said that no one's really pursuing that as far as coming in from outside and asking us for it, but you guys would be open to that. And they said, how about pursuing it from our point of view? So I told them that I would, we'd talk about it and consider that
Yeah, well,
angle.
It's
I believe
extremely unlikely it's not worth any effort.
The cable companies that I know of, it is Charter, Cox and Rhode Island, Verizon, Fios, which oddly enough, they seem to be rolling out Fios and Verizon because they disconnected the phone line I know about down there because of the work they're doing. And then there's RCN that I know is in Boston. Other than that, I don't know anybody, and I don't think RCN is even close to being out here. So once again, it's a whole matter of creating the infrastructure by any competitor that would come into the market. So, I mean, we could send a letter to Verizon again and ask them if they're ever going to revise their Fios.
Yeah, I suppose we could send a letter, but they have in the past said it is absolutely not happening,
Right.
so.
They have. So, but it's been a couple of years, and like I said, I had somebody was running something down Route 16 outside my house. I can't imagine they're still putting up copper. So, but that Phoenix Communications that does work for Charter was out there for a long time, a couple of weeks ago. I just don't know what to. So I guess we need to find the government contact for Verizon and ask.
Okay.
We can check into it as requested.
I can go ahead and do that. I'll reach out to Mitch, who I'm sure still has all that contact information.
Well, if the government person with Verizon changes its frequently is the one in Charter. It's 6 people down the road since he talked to him. So, yeah, whatever.
So it's the Finance Committee that's asking for this.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what, they were just asking me if it would be more possible if it was something that we were chasing. I just told them I'd bring it up and we could talk about it, because it's something we haven't talked about in a little while. But
I know a
I
lot
think
of-
the chances probably haven't changed much, but.
I see a lot on social media, people asking, why don't we have more choices?
Yep.
And there's legitimate reasons why we don't. And they're curious, understandable.
Yeah. Because I mean, I see that on Worcester Facebook page too, for the options. There is none in the city of Worcester, so. And they have much bigger market than we do here in Douglas.
But I will say my own personal experience, even when you do have options in other towns, they have pluses and minuses. They're all kind of the same, price-wise and service-wise.
Price-wise and service-wise, and everybody's gonna complain about the cable company no matter which one we have.
Yeah.
And,
I'd love to see all sorts of options, but it's,
but just as a quick follow-up, as Doug was, yes, Pat was talking to the Finance Committee about the budget, I was here with the selectmen talking about the capital request that we put in for the upgrade of the sound system here in this room, and they were agreeable to it. They just asked about the possibility of mute switches on the microphones, but they approved the capital request to go forward to the town meeting, so as long as we're paying for it, they were happy with it.
yeah. And as far as the mute switches go, we can reach out, before the project starts, we can reach out to the vendor, because he's done tons of these, so he might have an idea of how it's.
Yeah,
typically
from-
might be
It's
done.
part of it's part of the bid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, we can just find out.
Right. How it technically works. And
Yeah, well, I think it's just a button.
Right.
Knocks, the microphone goes dead, you take your finger off, and it goes live again. So. So, and then, just while we're on the subject of equipment, speaking of the sound system in the room, could I suggest that you sort of have them in place for soon after the town meeting to start this work?
Oh, okay, to start the project?
Yeah,
So
so it
from
doesn't
from
drag
what I
on.
understand, the way that that we have to lay the project out now is we'll get it approved at town meeting, and then we have to just have, go back out and have them do the quotes again.
Okay.
So I'll reach out to the same vendors, and we have to get, for the procurement, I have to get the 3 quotes again, and then we bring it to Matt. Matt will decide again, and then, but I mean, hopefully it'll be quick, because we already did all this legwork, so we can push it through as quick as possible,
Okay.
because we already did this process once, so.
Yes, we did.
When's town meeting?
May 6th, I think.
So in a month.
Yep.
And we can't request the quotes before it's authorized.
I'll talk to Matt and find out how, because, I mean, he knows, he's familiar with the project, so he should know. I'll see what kind of timeline we can do this
Yeah,
on.
check, because.
He's probably just as antsy to get it in as we are, so.
Can we request them and have, they can be dated May 7th?
Right. Yeah, I'll talk to Matt about that and figure out a timeline.
Great.
And that's all I had.
Equipment. I'd like to have, I just want to see how the board feels about this, the ability to easily stream on social media, YouTube, whatever, live, especially the Board of Selectmen's meetings. It would take another piece of equipment to do that. I started to do a little research, but I didn't do that much. I just want to see how the board felt about that.
It makes sense to do that.
There might be, some concern that there's people that didn't really pay for it would be getting the service, but it's in the best interest of the town for it's up there with a little bit of effort and money on our part, then it's available.
Now, I'm not sure exactly why the decision was made or what went on to that the Board of Selectmen is sort of the only live, right now, they're the only live broadcasting meeting. Or actually, I should say that the schools, they have, the school committee, I believe, is live too. But right now, for our channel, we just do the Board of Selectmen live. So do you mean to follow the live broadcast, or would you mean
Live
upping
on.
the count of live streaming to be?
No, although I do like that, but what I'm talking about now is being put it up on YouTube.
Whatever, okay, so whatever's going live on broadcast would also go live on streaming, yeah.
Right,
So basically, just, right now, that's just the Board of Selectmen.
right.
Okay.
While we're on the subject, is there any other meetings that it would make sense to go have live, either or both ways?
That's why I said I'm not sure why it was decided just to do.
I don't know, especially in the spring season with the finance committee and whatever, I don't know whether those would be of immediate interest to viewers.
But it's really no effort on our part, just hitting the switch.
It would just be one more switch if it was what whatever device we're talking about. That's basically a one.
We're talking
Well,
about just
It's
doing,
probably what we would need to do is
do more live.
and live broadcast as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now it'd be limited to this room, the live broadcast at least.
Yep.
What would it take to do that room too? Ethernet?
Well, I think if we did that, then we'd need some sort of switcher within our broadcasting, because we'd have to be able to tell the broadcasting system which connection is going to go live.
Right.
But, yeah, so that might get a little complicated if we do from any other room. Right now, in this room, if we do it, it would be able to match with whatever's being broadcast live. If we wanted to pull stuff in from that room as well, we'd probably have to think about some sort of switcher for the live broadcast feed.
Right. Going to do some research on that?
Yeah, we can look into that. Certainly as a possibility.
I mean, if their meeting's being recorded and played, they're never edited or anything, so I can't see any reason why it couldn't go live.
Right, there's no content difference.
Right, you just, can you put a thing down the bottom of the thing that it's live?
Right.
Like a little, lower third or something.
I don't know.
Might be
And
another
if you
piece
did
of,
that, would it show up on the subsequent copies?
well, there's probably another piece of equipment that we could put in line as well. So when you're up going live, that piece of equipment would be active. So it's signals passing through, putting that on the lower third or whatever, but not having the
That would get
recording.
complicated.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, because then if you're doing the lower third, I was thinking we could do it on the live broadcast, we could, and that might be a good idea to do anyway, is to have a little lower third that lets the viewer know
actually-
that this is a live board of selectmen.
Well, actually, you wouldn't have to say it's live. You could say it's the selectmen's meeting of April 22nd or whatever
Right.
on the bottom. And if it's April 22nd, then
Yeah.
it's a live thing.
Yeah, it might get a little more complicated if we put a lower third on the streaming, unless that, whatever we buy for a streaming unit has the ability to do that, because otherwise we'd have to have some sort of character generator in the actual recording rack.
Okay, something to think about, because I assume the Aja Pro is what puts it on the video.
Yeah, so all the cameras recording everything goes into the Aja Key Pro. That records it. That's my recording base that I use to create the YouTube video or whatever. If that goes through to the broadcaster, if we had something that was, just taking that signal and pumping it out live, then from the Aja Key Pro to that unit wouldn't have any kind of way to generate a lower third
Right.
in that signal. But from the actual broadcast unit, we can generate a lower third. So that kind of gave me the idea that I think we should probably do that anyway, because if someone's sitting there on a Tuesday night and Board of Selectmen's on, they might be thinking they're watching a live meeting, but it might be, oh, no, well, I do put the lower thirds on for the dates, so you know if it's a recorded meeting, but
Yeah.
if it's a live one, you don't necessarily know.
Right.
That's a good point outside of what we're talking about, but also, it'd be interesting to look into the tightrope setup for that too, and I would probably be a lot more expensive than what you're looking into right now, is like a little, but I know that they do have like another box we could add onto our rack that would enable us to take anything in our system and put it out. It would give us essentially a streaming video on demand online, but I mean, we essentially have that with YouTube anyway. But then it would also be able to, it would automatically be able to take anything that we're broadcasting live and stream it live as well. So it would kind of take care of that whole issue, and then any lower third we put on would work because it's coming from the tightrope system.
But that would be after the recording, so it's not, so that lower third wouldn't be.
Yeah, right, it wouldn't be on the recording itself. Yeah, yep. Yeah, that's a way that we could do it there. I know it would be a little more expensive, but then we'd also be within their product unit, and we'd have support for it, and it wouldn't be, I think it would probably be something I would just automate, that our recording assistants wouldn't even have to worry about. And we could,
That would be
That
best.
sounds
Yeah.
ideal, yeah.
the only thing there too is that, figuring out how to get the other room into there, but if that's something that we'd want to look at, then it may be worth just doing whatever we need to do that.
Sure.
But we'd have to decide, I think, at that point, which one we'd have to go live.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're talking to the town administrator, you might ask if he has any thoughts on that, too.
Sure. Yeah, I wonder what it would be required to, we probably just have to notify people if they're gonna go live, but.
Yeah, but everybody's being recorded now, so.
And it's essentially, it's live anyway, we're
Yeah.
live right now to, if there were people here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
That's all I had for other business. Anybody else have anything?
I'm good.
All right.
Then I'll make a motion, well, next meeting.
Well, next meeting, Monday, May 13th, that'll be after town meeting.
That is after town meeting, so.
So I guess we will have some things to discuss then.
Okay.
So entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.